Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Dole, aka the Big D of Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews, with a video game review. Now, this is kind of going to be a threefer because I'm going to review three different games, but have the same title. As of course, this is my superhero month, so today the game I'm going to review is Batman. I will be reviewing the NES, Game Boy, and Sega Genesis ports only. Now, there are other ports, but I have not taken the time to watch plays of them, though. Now, I will talk about games, if you don't mind me not having to play some of those, but seeing playthroughs, walkthroughs of them. So, I hope you all are understanding. If so, great. Thank you for your understanding. First off, I'm going to start with the NES version, which is arguably the most popular of the three. Now, all three games were released by Sunsoft, who, of course, has made many hit-or-miss titles for NES. Of course, among some of those, aside from Batman, include Gremlins 2, The New Badge, another movie-based game, as well as Fezier's Quest, based on the Addams Family, Blaster Master, and Journey to Silius, and many others. Anyway, I actually have the game, but I can't beat it though because it gives me a bit of frustration, but it's still pretty challenging though in some parts. Anyway, the game does have some pretty cool cutscenes, which I give thumbs up for. The music for this is absolutely great. Now, Batman, of course, only has three weapons. Your batarangs, a disc thrower, which you can fire 3 discs, and a spear gun, which can easily wipe out enemies, especially in the boss battles. There are only 5 stages, but they're pretty big, though. The game is a platformer. Now, you can get, other weapons to upgrade, but you do have your fists to take out enemies. Most of these characters, unknown to y'all, come from the comics. And some of those are actually bosses, which include Killer Moth, and the Electrocutioner, and Firefly. I believe that's who that is. Firefly? Or maybe I've been wrong before. No, Firebug, that's who that is. Whoops. Wrong one. Firefly can fly, but I don't think this Firebug character can. But, oh well, forgive me, everyone. But even so, you'll go through 5 different stages. From the streets of Gotham to the Axis Chemical Factory. From the sewers to this here laboratory Joker's working from. Leading up to the final stage, the Gotham Cathedral, where you'll take on Joker in the final battle. Like I said, I got to the next to last boss, which was Firebug, but unfortunately got beaten by him. Couldn't get back to him again. I'm hoping to do it again sometime. If I get a better console that can maybe work with a Game Genie, I could do it. I know, usually cheating's not the good thing, but hey, if games give you trouble, well, then just go for it. Would I recommend Batman for NES? Hell yeah! This is a great game. I actually love the Batman NES game, and it can be frustrating at times. However, the good thing is you do have, now, as I said, you got those 3 weapons, but you have to keep getting little icons with a weapon on to keep them upgraded. You can get up to 99 points for those. You also get hearts, but they're very scarce sometimes to give you health back. If you lose all your lives, your game is over. However, there are unlimited continues, though, which that's a good thing. So give Batman for NES a shot. The next game I'm going to talk about is the Game Boy version. Now, this and the NES version both came out a little bit, maybe about half a year or so into 1990, about after the success of the movie. Now, the game is probably the one that loosely follows the movie, like the NES game. Both games kind of loosely follow the movie. But, however, the Game Boy version has some good cutscenes as well. And the game is kind of sort of like a Super Mario Land type game. You carry kind of a little gun to help you take out enemies, and you get different weapon upgrades, almost like in Contra. You also kind of get a little bit of kind of a barrier thing as of a power up as well. I don't know too much of the game about having continues or what have you, because this is all I know of. And I've seen walkthroughs of the game. Game looks pretty good though. I think you ought to give it a try. And anyway, that's all I know. You go, but and the game's kind of a bit short as well in a way. Just go through different stages. Oh yeah, there is a good thing though. You do have Batwing stages where you control the Batwing in a all-scrolling shooter, which that's very cool. And you'll go through other environments around Gotham City and get past Joker in the Cathedral. So I'd say give Game Boy a shot as well. Okay, and finally, I just finished watching a walkthrough of it, and that would be the Genesis version. Though it was produced in 1990, but it only came in Japan, though. It didn't come to us in North America until the following year. Now, this game's kind of a little bit challenging, but some say it's not challenging much. I will say it's very cool. It kind of has a little bit of a feel like the NES game. However, unlike that game, it follows the movie a little more well, in a way. Because you do get a good look at characters, you do have some cutscenes, and you get to go through all sorts of environments, including ones like featured in the movie, including the Streets of Gotham and the Flugelheim Art Museum, which that's really cool. Well, I mean, art gallery in the museum. Well, you know what I mean. Where you do get to see a cool cutscene where Batman manages to save Vicky Vale from Joker, who unfortunately doesn't appear much. It doesn't appear in the other two games. You do get to see her mentioned in the ES game, but oh well. And you get to face all sorts of bosses. Most of them are characters you've seen in the movies. Now, the game is sort of similar to that of Sega's own Shinobi, in a way. And, well, that game's very much a challenge. Sega Genesis Batman is a little bit of a challenge. The good thing is, you do have an options menu in the Sega Genesis port where you can give yourself a certain number of lives. You can get 7 tops. You can change the game difficulty as well. Now, here's the downside though. Some of these enemies are very tricky though. There's lots of traps and what have you. It's tricky platforms. If you lose all your lives, your game's over. You do have continues, but unfortunately they're limited though. I think from what I saw in a recent vid, I think you got only 4 or 5 continues. But nevertheless, there is some good stuff. There is a Batwing stage, and there's also a Batmobile stage, not featured in the other 2 games, which that's pretty cool. Anyway, and also you do get Batarangs, but they're limited though. You just gotta find an icon. There's also extra lives, but they're kind of scarce though. But health isn't too scarce. Sometimes they can be found before boss battles or during boss battles. Most notably the first one. But what can I say? I think Batman for Sega Genesis is pretty cool. Would I recommend it? Well, sure. After all, Sunsoft's made a few hit or miss titles for Sega Genesis as well. But anyway, I think they're a pretty cool company. And also, the music for the Sega Genesis port was actually done by the same guy who did the music for the NES port. I don't know his name because I don't really pronounce Japanese names much, so I humbly apologize. But anyway, so now you know what these 3 Batman games are. Pretty cool games done by Sunsoft. Give any of these a shot. You might like them. If I ever get someone that plays Sega Genesis, we'll talk with this in playing the Genesis port. You never can tell. Anyway, do you like any of these 3 games? Tell me what your favorite of these 3 Batman games are in the comments section. Like and subscribe to my channel. Now, I will have another video game reviews coming up in a little bit. I'm going to review the Batman Returns games for the NES and the Sega consoles. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.